Hello everybody, I hope you're keeping really well today. In this short video, I want to discuss the physiology of fat loss. So not how to lose body fat or what you can do to lose body fat, but how it actually works in your body. And I'm hopeful that if you can understand how fat loss occurs in your body, then you can use that to help you navigate your fat loss journey or even your health journey, which would include supporting metabolism. So, hopefully, you find this helpful. So, when we look at fat loss, how do we lose fat? On a basic level, we exhale fat. Fat comes out in carbon dioxide, it's a byproduct. So technically, yes, you could turn off the video now and just go exhale a lot more and you will understand how it works. But if you want to learn a bit more, fat on your body is made up of long carbon chains. Now everything is made up of carbon. And when I say carbon, I know some people are immediately going to think of carbohydrates. That's not accurate though. Protein is made up of carbon, and so is fat, and even alcohol has a carbon complex. So everything is made up of carbon. Your green vegetables are made up of carbon, your fruit made up of carbon. So to understand that, fat is made up of a long carbon chain. And then that's bound to hydrogen and oxygen or water. So when you are breaking down fat or you're losing fat, you're breaking these carbon chains, this carbon backbone. And what happens then is the carbon backbone gets broken, and your body then is going to convert some of that into the citric acid cycle or into energy production along with oxygen. You need oxygen to make energy and have the citric acid cycle work efficiently. That just to remind some people that have said many times, like, I get more energy when I exercise, or I feel better when I exercise. Yes, because you're taking in more oxygen and you're creating energy. So even if you're tired and you say go for a long walk, because you're taking in more oxygen, you're getting more ATP production through the citric acid cycle. But anyway, back to the fat. We're specifically looking at fat loss. When you take in a deep breath, you take in oxygen. That oxygen then goes into the energy cycle along with the carbon. Where does the carbon come from? It comes from your body fat. So then when you exhale, you're exhaling the carbon dioxide. So you've got two oxygens attached, you're exhaling. That, on a basic level, is how fat loss actually works in your body. So then we understand that when we're talking about fat loss, you want to consume less carbons than the carbons you breathe out. Of course, you need to have a good diet and an exercise program to help you effectively lose this fat. But what's actually happening is these carbon chains, which were a piece of your body, a piece of your fat, they are getting broken down. And once you break off those carbons, your body won't just have carbon floating around in it. It's going to have to deal with the carbon. And when we've broke a chemical bond like that, we get a net release of energy. So we use that energy to make a molecule called ATP, which is energy. And that will be used for life or to power our exercise or whatever we're doing. And then because we want to get rid of whatever is left over, your body then is going to create CO2 and you're going to breathe out the CO2. And that carbon that's attached to that CO2, that was literally a part of your body. That was literally part of your body fat. So obviously, if you do this a lot, if you do this and you break down like 5 million carbons, little by little, as we continue to chip away at these carbon chains and break them down, what's going to happen? Well, your fat is going to reduce because you're breaking down the size. So whether you're consuming less carbon or you're increasing the amount of carbon you put out, the end product should see a net in fat loss. You should see, and of course, the more long term you do this, the more consistent you do it, the more your results you're going to see. So I'll remind you again, when we talk about carbon, we're not specifically talking about carbohydrates. We're talking about everything. Everything is made up of carbon, because with the way the trends are going now and people think they need to eliminate carbohydrates to lose weight, that's not true, because everything is made up of carbon. So you basically need to take in less carbon than the carbon you're exhaling out. There are some byproducts. You will get some metabolic water there, and then you'll excrete that through urine or sweat or bowel movements. But on a basic level, it is the carbon chains that are getting broken up. And if you can break those carbon chains up enough and get the carbon out enough and for long enough, over time you will see your body fat reduce. It is that simple. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, there are considerations in people: hypothyroidism, metabolic dysfunction, or mitochondrial dysfunction. But on a basic level, that is how fat loss actually works. Okay? I hope you found this helpful. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments.